In this video, I want to discuss intensively about coccidiosis, and I'm going to give the best ways to control coccidiosis in poultry farm, be it broilers or layers. Coccidiosis is one of the most common and costly poultry diseases, especially in broilers raised on the floor. It is caused by a protozoan parasite called Elmeria, which multiplies inside the intestine of chickens, and this leads to bloody droppings, reduced feed intake, poor growth, and sometimes death. Please, if this is your first time of coming across my video, kindly click the subscribe button and turn on the bell icon so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't hesitate to give this video a like, comment, and share for others to benefit. In order to control coccidiosis effectively, you must combine good management, hygiene, nutrition, and medication, be it synthetic or herbal. And I want to give about 10 points, the best ways to control coccidiosis in poultry farm. The first thing to do if you want to control coccidiosis in your poultry farm, be it broilers or layer, is to understand the disease cycle, because you cannot control it without understanding how it works, the site that it affects most, and the different types or the different stages. Now, before you control, you need to understand also how it spreads. First and foremost, coccidiosis, which is commonly called the eggs, are passed in the droppings, and they become infective after 24 to 48 hours in warm or moist litter. That is why I always say keep your litters dry, and look at the short time frame within 24 to 48 hours. That's when they become infective. When the chickens pick up these oocytes, which is the egg, from contaminated feed, water, litter, or equipment, it's also affect them. Then once inside the intestine, they multiply rapidly and cause the gut damage. The gut is very important in every poultry bed, so the control measures should focus on breaking this cycle so that you can stop the oocytes from multiplying and spreading. If you don't break this cycle, you keep on treating coccidiosis. That is why a lot of us complain of coccidiosis outbreak after treating. By the time you give plain water, you see them coming back again. The second way is to maintain strict farm hygiene. First and foremost, when we talk about strict farm hygiene, we're talking about litter management. You have to keep the litter dry and clean. Damp litter encourages the oocytes to develop, and not just they develop, at that point they develop rapidly. Then you should make sure to stir or rake litter daily to avoid wet spots under the drinkers. Then replace any caked or wet litters immediately, and maintain litter depth of 2 to 4 inches and avoid ammonia buildup. You see, this point is very important. First is to gather and spread your litters. This will prevent dampness. Then if your litter is also thick, maybe like 2 to 4 inches, avoid damp also, and it makes it you're able to absorb water down immediately, and try as much as possible to avoid ammonia buildup. Then another thing that you can do is to use lime powder or wood ash under drinkers to dry the wet areas. This is very important. Cleaning and disinfection. Make sure to clean the house thoroughly between batches. Not that when you finish batch 1, you just do minor cleaning or wash ordinarily, then you bring in another batch. No, make sure to clean thoroughly, disinfect, remove all litter, and wash with hot water and detergent first. Then after you've washed with detergent and water, before you now disinfect. And one thing that most farmers do where they get it wrong is that they disinfect without washing first. This is a wrong approach. It's a wrong practice. You have to wash with soap first before you now disinfect. You should use disinfectant, most especially like the ammonia solution at which is 10%, or specialized coccidia disinfectants such as cresol based disinfectant. After you've done this, you now allow for like 2 to 3 weeks to dry before bringing in new chicks. Then number 3 is to use preventive medication. I always tell people prevention is better than cure. So when we talk about preventive medication, we are referring to coccidiostats. That is how they are called, and it is either you mix them in feed or in water, which are the drugs. So what you just need to do is to add coccidiostats to feed or water to prevent outbreak. Mind you, this is preventive measure. And some of the common drugs that you can use to control coccidiosis are amprolium, salinomycin, monensin, diclazuril, and then maduramycin. Some of these ones can be used either with feed or with water for preventive measures, and make sure to follow the correct dosage as recommended by a vet or the feed manufacturer. Then another thing is to do a kind of rotation program in the sense that you should avoid using the same drug continuously. For you to get results, you have to rotate between different classes of coccidiostats every 4 to 6 months. This will help to prevent drug resistance. Watch out for withdrawal period. Stop using the preventive drugs at least 5 to 7 days before slaughter to avoid residues in the meat. Then the fourth point is to use herbal and natural alternatives. Now, if you want to reduce the chemical use or go organic, you can use herbs like neem leaf, garlic, turmeric, aloe vera, ginger, and all these organic compounds. They show anticoccidial properties, for like broomweed, which is also known as cedar acuta, pawpaw leaf extract, are also very useful. Then the herbal mixture, what they do is that they boost the immunity, they reduce the oocyte shedding, and they repair the intestinal lining. So one important point that I must also tell you is that herbal formulation must be well prepared, standardized, and dosed correctly. Otherwise, they may not work effectively. And it is more better to use the herbal drugs for preventive rather than curative. If your birds already come down with coccidiosis, I will advise you to use synthetic drugs. But if you know that they haven't come down with coccidiosis, using these herbal drugs is very, very effective for prevention. Then the fifth point is vaccination. Vaccination helps birds develop immunity to coccidiosis. Commercial live coccidiosis vaccines are Paracos, Imucos. These are vaccines that you can give them, and once you give this vaccine, is for lifetime. Then they are usually administered to chicks, maybe in the first few days of their life, either through spraying or through drinking water. And make sure that you do not use anticoccidial drugs immediately after vaccination, because they may kill the vaccine organisms and prevent the immunity development. The sixth point is to manage feed and water system. Make sure to keep your drinkers elevated to prevent litter contamination. Now, a lot of farmers use these drinkers. The drinkers, when you are positioning it, it should be the level at the back of the chicken, so that by the time they want to drink, they will have to stretch a little to take a drink. Even the feeders, the same thing. But I will also advise you to use nipple drinkers instead of the open trough if possible, because this will help to reduce water spillage and ensure the feeders are clean and raised to avoid bird scratching litter into the feed, and avoid feed spillage, because it attracts moisture and supports the oocytes survival. The seventh point is to reduce stocking density. When you overcrowd, this increases stress and disease spread. So you should maintain about 10 to 12 birds per square meter for broilers. And you should also give the birds enough space to reduce fecal contamination of feed and water. The eighth point is to strengthen birds' immunity. If you need to strengthen your birds' immunity against coccidiosis, you must feed a balanced diet that is rich in vitamins, most especially vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and I think vitamin K. Yes, these vitamins, they help to boost the immunity of your birds against coccidiosis. Then let me also chip this to you, that if you have your birds has come down with coccidiosis, make sure that then you should also add probiotics and prebiotics to maintain the gut health, and try as much as possible to reduce stress from heat, poor ventilation, or sudden changes. All these aids or they weaken the immunity of your birds. Then the ninth point is early detection and treatment. Watch out for early signs, for example, blood in the droppings, ruffled feathers, loss of appetite, or weakness. If you notice any of these symptoms, consult your vets immediately for diagnosis and treatment. And some common treatments, some common medication that you can use are amprolium, toltrazuril, sulfaquinoxaline, diclozeril, and some many others. These are the few ones that I can mention that are very, very effective for treatment of coccidiosis. That the 10th point is integrated control strategy. The best way to control coccidiosis is a combined approach. That is hygiene and litter, because when you combine proper hygiene and good litter management, it helps to break the infection cycle. When you use coccidiosis, it helps to prevent the parasite from growing. Then when you vaccinate, it will help to build the immunity. Then when you use herbs and probiotics, it helps to support the gut health. And when you give good balanced ration and you stock properly, there will be improved resistance. I believe you've gotten tangible information from this video. So help me to grow my channel by clicking the subscribe button, turn on the bell icon, and drop your questions in the comment section. Do well to share for others to benefit. Thanks.